Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Morning Show with your hosts, Wayne and Gabby.
Good morning, real estate investors.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the Canadian Real Estate Investing Morning Show. We're very happy to be here with you this morning. On today's show, we're going to talk about why we think it's important for all of you to buy your first home by the time you're 25 years old. There is some serious benefits to this that we're going to be sharing with you today. And the main one that I want to focus on is that this is a simple way for you to become a millionaire by the time you're 40 years old.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, I know I said it. I'm using gimmicks. Wayne's getting all gimmicky here. I'm not trying to be gimmicky. I mean it.
It's being real.
I'm being real. This is a very simple way, simple formula for each and every one of you guys to be a millionaire by the time you're 40. Here's the deal. If you don't do this, the odds of you accumulating over $1 million worth of net worth by the time you're 40 are like less than 1%. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. If you do not buy your first home by the time you're 25, the odds of you actually accumulating $1 million worth of net worth by the time you're 40 is less than 1%. There's no way. Mathematically, there's no way. Unless, of course, you've gone to school, you've accumulated hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of loans, and by the time you're 29, you got out of school, you're some sort of medical expert, and you're out working, and you managed to pay off your hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of student loans. By the time you're 35, then you start accumulating wealth between 35 and 40, and maybe you might have saved enough by then. Mathematically, there's no way. I'm just being real with you right now. And what I want, people love the enthusiasm yesterday, right, Gabby? I'm leading with the enthusiasm, piercing right in. Good morning, I'm here. What I want is for everyone to have this. I want everyone to have options, financial options, for each and every one of you guys to be able to create your own life, what you want it to look like, not what everybody else says your life has to look like, not what your boss says your life has to look like, not what your finances says your life has to look like. So many people's lives are dictated and formed based off of how much money they have, which is fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's the truth.
And not only that, not only your life, but your next generation, your children. You start having kids by the time you're 25 and you don't have your first house all figured out and you're still renting. It's not only for you. It's not only you that's being limited by your options. It's your next generation. It's your children as well, because they're growing up 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 years old in a position where they're not given the opportunities by you to be able to create a life that could be meaningful to them, for them to be able to have options, because you didn't get your financial shit straight when you were at a prime age. Because you didn't get your financial shit straight, you passed that along to them, and then they inherited that position. Think of it like a pole position in a race. Do you want to start at the front or you want to start at the back? Right? How did you qualify? This is what I mean. Like, you're passing that on to your kids. Now they're starting way behind. They're starting in 27th position, where they need to start even further back, or as far back as you started. But what if you could actually get a decent position in the beginning of the race, and you can pass on that decent position, that pole position, to your kids as well? Now they have a leg up. They've got a little bit of equity that they could start with. They've got options, financial options, for them to create a better future, for not just for themselves and their family, but their future generations as well. It all starts with you. And what I want you to do is I want you to get your financial shit straight by the time you're 25. And this is what we're going to be focusing on today. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Chris is ready.
Who's ready?
Chris.
Chris is ready?
First he says, where are these flippin' good topics coming from? Welcome to Wayne's brain.
From my butt. No, my brain. No, it's...
Okay,
Chris Gabby, I want you to be honest. When did this topic get created?
About 6:49 a.m.
How long ago was that? Before the show, please. God damn it.
Oh,
my
11
God.
minutes
She
before the
doesn't.
show.
She doesn't do the math. I promise you. She does not do the math in her business.
I was doing the math to right now.
11
minutes before the show started.
11 minutes. God, it was an underhand there, Gabby. 11 minutes ago. Thank you.
Yes. But Chris says, bought my first house at 22, built some equity, and before 30, I had my first few rentals under my belt. Best decision I ever made, but buying the first one was nerve-wracking. This is what he's talking about. Look at him.
That's it. ASMR. That's it. That's how you become a millionaire before the age of 40. Did I do a good job? Was that? Hang on, let me whisper in your ear one more time. I want you to become a millionaire before the age of 40. I know you can do it. Someone's loving this podcast this morning for the wrong reasons.
Fabian, good morning, Fabian. Fabian says leverage. We'll be talking about that for sure.
Yeah, so let me know in the chat. I want to know in the chat today, guys. And thank you, Chris, for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And no judgments here. If you do not have your financial shit straight right now, if you didn't get it straight before 25, here's the thing. There's absolutely no judgment here this morning. Because what we can't change is what we've done. We can't change the past. Can anyone change the past?
Nope, unfortunately you can't.
Sorry, Marty McFly. It's not going to happen. Don't even bother trying to get that one, Gabby. All we can focus on is what we do right now and what we do in the future. Okay? So starting now, it's today is the day one. If you haven't, then you start right now. So with no judgment here, I would like to know, those of you guys that are on the live show, when did you buy your first property? Please share it with me. I'm curious. Because I love that Chris shared that. I love that Chris shared the possibility of what's possible if you start sooner. The window of opportunity for building wealth is actually significantly smaller than we think. Mm-hmm. We think that we have our whole lives ahead of us, and we do in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, we do have our whole lives ahead of us. But the opportunity to build wealth is actually a lot smaller than you'd think. And you are giving yourself way too much credit for how much you will actually do in that opportunity, that window of opportunity. Most of you guys are huge procrastinators, myself included. Even though I've accomplished what I've accomplished in my life, I could have accomplished so much more. So much more. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
That I could have accomplished a lot more.
Yeah,
No, I meant just in general.
I think that everyone is capable of accomplishing more. I think that's the thing about life is that you need to decide what you're doing for yourself. Nobody else can decide it for you. So, you can accomplish as much as you want or as little as you want. It all depends on you and what you're willing to do. We're all capable of it, though. Mm-hmm. Right? We're all capable.
All right. While everybody's getting those years down, we'll hold off on revealing that. Please put it in the chat. And if you're here live with us here on YouTube, we broadcast this show live every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time on YouTube. To find the morning show live, look up Wayne Hillier on YouTube. Very simple. Very simple. Look up Wayne Hillier. And like I said, it's very easy. You click on that. Subscribe so that way you get notified, or it's easier to find for you. So you're not just searching W-Y-A. How do you spell Wayne? W-A-Y-N-E.
W-A-I-N-E.
Hillier. Is that one L or two L's? Just subscribe, and then you don't have to figure out how to spell my name every morning. Subscribe, and then you'll get notified. Actually, does it ding your phone?
Yep.
Dings your phone. Says Wayne's live.
Yeah.
Right?
I've been searching for it every morning. Today I waited, and it popped up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
A few moments after we live streamed.
Turn your notifications on, and that can be your morning alarm. But join us live at 7 a.m. Be a part of the conversation. I highly recommend it. And, we can answer some of your questions too. We We look forward to it. And if you guys aren't, able to join live, that's totally fine too. You can catch the replays on YouTube and on Spotify and iTunes every single day if you just prefer to listen to audio.
Yeah.
But for those of you that are live with us this morning, please let us know when you bought your first property. And I'd like to know who we have joining us this morning.
Oh my gosh, the chat is bumping this
Yes.
morning. Yeah.
Yes.
We have Kirsten who says hello, hello. We have Manny who said good morning. Fabian says top of the morning.
Good morning, guys.
Craig is here. Hey, hey, good morning. Carmen is back. Carmen says good morning. Or should I say Little Wayne? I think that's what she wanted to be, a Little Wayne.
She wants to be a Little Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we have, who else do we have here? We have Chris says, good morning, awesome people, with a duck. What else do we got here? We have Nori. Good morning, Nori. Good morning to Kyla.
I love that Nori's able to make it now.
I know.
Nori's
so
now
awesome.
Nori's part of the squad. He's part of the morning squad.
West Coast represent.
Do we have a name for the morning squad? Morning squad just sounds a little more like boring.
Let's let them name themselves.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Let's let them name themselves.
I don't know if that's a good idea. We let the Red Deer crew name themselves, and then what do they call themselves?
The Flaming Pickles or something?
It's like the Deep Fried Pickle Party or something like that. We're not allowed to let people name themselves anymore.
Okay. Charn's here. Charn says good morning,
Charn,
everyone.
you figured it out, buddy. You figured it out. Jarn couldn't figure it out the other morning, and so he was asking me while I was live on the show. I was like, "Do I answer him while people are looking at me?" I'm like, I can't.
No.
He figured it out. Good to see you here, buddy. Good to see you.
We have Mitch here. Good morning, Mitch.
Mitch made it.
Mitch made it. Hey, that's fun to say. Mitch made it. Mitch made it. Mitch made it.
That's a good sweater. I mean, I wouldn't wear it, but I think it'd look really good on Mitch.
Totally. Amy is here. Amy says hi. Hi, Amy.
Hey, Amy. It's great to see you.
We have Michael. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Michael. Hello.
That's,
Ricardo.
Is that?
Not.
Oh, okay. Not Mott.
Yeah, we have a not and a Mott.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can only see like a few letters.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Mike.
Yeah.
Can I call you Mike?
I don't know. It says Michael here.
All right.
Good morning to Ricardo.
Ricardo made it too.
Ricardo says, good morning, teachers.
Ricardo had a birthday.
Okay.
I think it was yesterday.
Okay.
I don't have birthday music anymore. If I start playing Lizzo.
Happy birthday
to Ricardo. If I start playing Lizzo, they're gonna ban my episode.
Yes, we don't want that.
So I have to start doing my best Lizzo impressions.
Okay, let's hear it. No? Okay. That was a letdown. Good morning, Josh. Josh is here. Good morning, Josh.
Sorry, I had coffee in my mouth.
We also have Tristan. Good morning, Tristan.
It's quite the squad we got this morning.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear what they name themselves.
Yeah. Kirsten says the early rise investors. I think we could do better.
Kirsten said that?
Yeah.
I expect a lot more out of you, Kirsten.
Kirsten also says we're waiting for your impersonation.
I don't think that's going to go over very well.
Okay. I think I've said good morning to everybody who has said good morning to us. Remember, if you don't say hi, we can't see you. We don't know who you are.
That's true.
So say hello.
Is that true?
Yep.
I haven't.
Well,
see,
on my end, at least, as a listener, I can't. I can only see the people who have said hi.
Okay, so here, watch this. Now, this is what it looks like when I'm looking at my screen. I look like an idiot like this. And so I'm trying not to look at the monitor as much as possible, but like, I've just been. Oh yeah, I did look stupid. There was the 2 second. So I have a 2 second delay on my monitor, and I just saw myself going like this. I try not to look up in the monitor, but like I also want to read what you guys are looking at. So, anyways, if I look like an idiot, it's just. I don't know how to end this. I don't know how to end this sentence. It's just because I'm trying to see what you guys are saying. So anyways, I'm going to stop doing that so I can, but I'm really happy to see all you guys here today.
Kirsten says that she got a screenshot of us like that on the first day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anyways. I'm really excited to see what all of you guys, when all of you guys bought your first property. I saw some of the answers popping up.
Yes.
Again, no judgments here. And if you've never bought your first property, seriously, I still want you to share it, because maybe today's the day. Maybe that actually, maybe that's a soft spot. Maybe that's a touchy subject. Maybe you are a little ashamed of it. Maybe you do feel judged. Good. Because maybe that little bit of a feeling of being judged, or maybe that little feeling of being ashamed, might actually be the kick in the ass, or be what shifts your gears today in order to doing what you need to do in order to get that first home, to buying your first. Now, I'm not talking about buying your first rental property. I'm talking about buying your first home. Because when you buy your first home, that's when the clock starts. Just imagine this. It's like you're not even playing the game yet. You're not even in the game until you buy your first property. The clock starts when you buy your first property. So every day you wait, every day you delay, everybody else is playing the game, and they're figuring out the rules, and they're building equity before you. This is why I say you have to do it by the age of 25, because the window of opportunity to invest is very, very, very small if you think about it. We can live up to 80, 90, 100 years if we, take care of ourselves. But realistically, we've only really got about 40 years in there that we can actually really, truly build wealth. I know there's arguments and debates that we can make about this, but truthfully, you've only really got about 40 years before you need it. Because once you hit 65 and, you retire from your job and they give you the golden watch and whichever else, or you get your new gig as a Walmart greeter, whatever it might be, that's when you really need the wealth that you created. That's when you need the cash flow or the dividends from the portfolio that you created, right? So you have a window of opportunity to determine what your retirement looks like, what you're going to be sharing or passing down to your kids and the next generation, right? And if you wait, that just diminishes, or it reduces the amount of time that you have to be able to build that, right? And it just makes it harder. If you start sooner, what I'm going to teach you guys today, which if you start sooner, you have more opportunity. And real estate, the money is made over the long term. But again, if you haven't started yet, there's nothing you can do about that. Absolutely nothing you can do about it. The only thing that you have control over is what you do right now, today. And if you don't do it today, then that's just one more day that you're just going to be ashamed of yourself. So take a quick little commercial break and come back. I bought a property yesterday. Can I talk about that?
Of course.
When we come back, I'll talk about, we got the keys yesterday for a new property. Pretty boring turnkey vanilla property, but I'm going to share it anyways, because even though it's boring to me, it's still pretty awesome, and it's going to get some great returns. We got it under market value. It's a great cash flowing property. I'm going to talk about that, and then I want to get into this simple formula to get you guys to building $1 million worth of net worth, to becoming a millionaire by the time you're 40 years old. We're going to share that after the break as well. We'll be right back.
You are a professional real estate investor. You are not a professional boxer. And you are definitely not a professional bookkeeper. Enter Fingo. Fingo is a professional bookkeeping service by and for professional real estate investors. Your life just got a whole lot easier, and your profits are ready to soar. Leave the bookkeeping to Fingo so you can focus on what's most important, finding the next deal and raising money for it. Schedule your free consultation at fingo.com.
I don't know if we should read that.
I don't know. Chris says now you're cooking with gas, Kirsten.
Yeah, I don't know if we should read those comments.
It's all in the way that you read it. Okay,
Really,
yes.
Gabby? Oh, really?
Because
we're the ones that have to read it.
So Kirsten says that the morning crew here should be named the Property Poppy Posse.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyla said, and see, it's all in how you read it. You can either be the PPP clan
Mm-hmm.
Or the, okay, no, it's bad either way. I was gonna say, or the Triple P clan. Yeah, it's just bad. It's bad.
Why'd you have to use clan? Jesus. Oh my God. Yeah, keep working on it, guys. Keep working on
Yeah,
it.
I think we could do better.
Yeah. Who do we got here? Ricardo, help me out here, please. Help me out here. Get these guys.
Tristan says, let's name the group after Wayne's band. What was that name again? Nice try, Kristen.
Nice try.
Tristan.
Nice try.
Not Kristen.
Am I frozen? Oh no, there's just a delay. Okay. Just looking through the chat here. Okay, so
Let's talk.
why am I doing a crab?
Yeah, we're crabs now. Let's talk about the house we picked up.
Oh yeah.
I was about to get into these comments. My gosh, this is
Well, we'll
so
just let
much going on
Well,
in the chat.
here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna let them build up a little bit,
Okay.
and then maybe they'll kind of like tire themselves out.
Okay, so if you're live with us and you're just joining in, we want to know, how old were you when you bought your first property?
And we want to know what you're gonna name the morning squad.
Yeah, and not necessarily your first rental property. When did you buy your first home? Okay, let us know in the chat.
Hey, can I say something?
No, this is not the time or place to say something, Wayne. Give your head a shake.
Please?
Okay, go for it.
There's so many great people here, and it seems like they're really enjoying themselves.
I agree.
Is that
I think
is
they're
that
having
fair
a
to
great
say?
time.
Fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you guys care to share this with somebody else? Would you guys, like, since you're here, and since you're goofing off anyways, you know, the old, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. If you got time to you never, don't worry about it.
What?
Like, apparently you're an office where you've only ever worked in an office. No one's ever said, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Oh, I get it. Like a warehouse or a shop.
So if you've got,
Yes,
God.
I've only worked in an office.
There's
that's not
a
true.
witty joke here somewhere. Every second I take it, it's getting less funny. Okay, whatever. I was gonna say something that rhymes with share. If you've got time to, you've got time to share. What I'm asking is, in a long-winded way, is would you guys share this on social right now? Say, hey, I'm goofing off with.
I'm having a good time with the PP clan. The PP posse.
Stop.
It might stick.
Don't post that online. You're gonna get a Facebook ban. But would you share this with some of your friends who might actually enjoy this? Maybe someone who's got an inappropriate, immature, sense of humor like you and us. Maybe even not so much, but maybe someone who is like, who could really benefit from this. Maybe you know someone who's like 23 years old and they just cannot get their shit straight. And you just like, man, you got to do this. Come on. Like, this is your opportunity. Share this episode with them. Share it right now. Share it live. And then they can catch the meaningful, valuable stuff we're about to talk about in a couple minutes.
30 minutes later.
30 minutes later. But seriously, if you wouldn't mind sharing it, it would mean a lot to us. And if you haven't already, subscribe. It's like, try not to do this stuff, but like it actually does mean something. You know what I mean? Like when you subscribe and when you share it, it actually tells the internet world that it actually is valuable to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's valuable to you guys. God damn it, you're here. You're spending. It would just mean a lot if you just shared it with other people, so that the action of that would actually, tell the internet world that it's meaningful and it's something worth listening to. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I'm sitting out there like I feel like I'm in a chicken suit and a sign, just like, oh, listen to my podcast. You know what I mean? Like I don't like doing that stuff. I would prefer that, like, if you guys get value from this and you're enjoying it, then share it. Back to it. We bought a house, a townhouse. Talked to you guys about Edmonton townhouses there about a week ago, and like we were talking about the best investment opportunity in Canada right now. The townhouses in Edmonton. There's a full episode on it. If you missed it, go listen to it.
That's a good episode.
Was it? I'm really happy to hear that. I bought one. I bought another one, and I've bought lots of them. We've been buying them for 6 years now.
Yeah.
6 years.
Time flies, hey?
Yeah. Before that we were buying something else, right? But what happens is that in every market, at any given time, there's always a really good opportunity at that given time, right? So if you asked me in 2015, would you buy a townhouse in Edmonton? I'd be like, no, like the numbers are terrible. Like compared to other opportunities that were available, the numbers were terrible at that time. But the numbers are really good right now. And if you secure them really good, like right now, you're gonna lock in those numbers. You're gonna get those great prices. You're gonna get that great cash flow. Not to mention the fact that you're gonna get it completely under value. And maybe that doesn't mean under market value, but it is very undervalued. It's an undervalued opportunity. And that's a tough thing to explain to you right now without a full 3 to 4 hours. But our students know this, and our students have been buying Edmonton townhouses for about 5 years now. Mm-hmm. For about 5 years, and they have realized all of the gains of this. I mean, we're talking about properties that have gone up like 50% in value in the last 5 years. Huge. That's 50% in value. Keep in mind, you're also buying this with a 20% mortgage, so you're leveraging a bank financing for 80% of it. So that actually turns out to be a 250% return just on appreciation. Huge.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So we picked up another one. Cash flow is amazing. 15% on the cash flow test. If any of you guys know what that means, if you don't know what the cash flow test is, you don't know what the 5% rule is, go, do we have a book around here somewhere?
No.
We'll figure that out. Go to Amazon and pick up the 5% rule. A fantastic book that I wrote. Teaches you all about how much cash flow you need for your rental properties.
Yeah.
What is the minimum amount of cash flow you're going to want to see for every type of property? Right, and not just $500 is really good. That's this property cash flow is $500. But what does that mean? $500 on a $100,000 apartment compared to $500 on a $2 million 12 unit is completely different, right? So you need to have a universal formula for all different types of properties, and not just a dollar amount. It needs to be a percentage. So we developed a formula for you to be able to figure that out, a test for you to be able to figure that out. The minimum on our test is 5%. It's called the 5% rule. This property is 15%.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check out the book if you haven't read it already. So really great property, pretty much turnkey. I went and swung by there again yesterday. So the keys got dropped off. I went in there just for a quick little 20-minute walkthrough and just took some pictures. Like every property that we buy, there's always like $2,000 to $3,000 worth of repairs and cleaning that needs to get done when you buy a property. These guys were actually, I didn't like these sellers at all. Remember I told you these sellers were
stinkers.
Butthole. I think
Stinkers works.
Okay. Stinky buttholes. I don't care for them very much. But they left it in a messy shape, and it's just they left stuff on the counter that caused like a huge stain. Like it's going to be a huge pain in the butt to get that out.
Oh, that sucks.
So anyways, I'll be looking them up and following them for the next 5 years. We're talking about karma on the podcast the other day, right?
That was a little edgy.
I'm not happy with them. I didn't tell you about that last night. Like, I was not happy with the junk that they left behind and with the...
Yeah, I mean, when you're going to sell a house, take your stuff, first of all. Don't leave stuff for... Actually, it's the second house in a row where, like, stuff has been left behind. Like, the last property we picked up just recently, we had to call the sellers back to be like, yeah, you can't just leave all your stuff in the backyard and in the shed and in the garage. Like, no.
Give your head a shake.
Come back. Come on. Come get it. We're not going to pay to get rid of it. So, yeah, it's, if you're going to sell a property, like, clean it up, take your stuff, get a professional clean. Like, that's the right thing to do, I think. Yeah, but not everybody does it, unfortunately.
Not everybody does.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited about the property regardless.
Yes,
it is
me too.
Another great property, easy. And, this was sitting on the MLS. We talked about it, we negotiated it, and it took a little while in order to get them the price that I wanted it to be, but ultimately I'm very happy with it. I went and did my list up for the handyman, and the handyman's going to go in there tomorrow. Probably spend about a half day in there. I said $2,000 to $3,000 worth of work. I think, honestly, this one's probably under 1,000, but there's just like a shower door situation. I love shower doors. The shower doors, like, God damn it, showers recently have just been. This is the year of the shower.
No, don't say it. Don't jinx it.
We probably have to get a shower door for the basement bathroom. So I have no idea what the configuration or like how that's whether that's something that's doable or how much that's gonna cost. But less than $2,000 to $3,000 worth of repairs and cleaning, and then this thing will be ready to list and rent next week.
Yeah, pretty excited.
Pretty simple. If he can figure out a solution, if our handyman can figure out a solution this Friday, tomorrow, for that shower situation, we could have this pictures done, listed on the weekend. And the goal is to rent it by June 1st. And we're not going to have any troubles because we haven't had any troubles filling vacancies for any of our other properties in that area or in Edmonton for this type of property. Townhouses are doing really, really, really good. Like as far as rentals go, like that's, by the way, we're not talking about like new infill townhouses. We're talking about like 1970s, 1960s townhouses with yards and no basement suites. They're renting fast, and they're getting great rents. And we've been having no trouble or problems filling vacancies. And most of our students who are buying them as well, they're filling it within a couple weeks, and they're getting more rent than I was expecting. Yeah. Because the demand is so incredibly high right now. So very excited about this. We'll get this all figured out. The hard part's done now. It's just a matter of just getting the a little bit of work done inside there with the handyman, and then getting it rented, and then just putting it in the system, right?
Yeah.
It's again, it wasn't all that exciting of a story. Like it's all of this is very systematic, guys. This doesn't have to be complicated. Not every deal has to be like some crazy story. You know what I mean? There are really easy, super simple deals out there that don't require a whole heck of a lot of work and time, where you can find it on the MLS, where you can write your offer, where you can get the offer accepted, where you can make a couple phone calls for insurance and home inspections and things like that. I wasn't present for the home inspection. Were we in Costa Rica when that happened?
Yeah, I think
so. I was on vacation. I wasn't even in the country.
Yeah, we tried to get it done right before we left, and it was a no-go.
Right? So it doesn't require a whole heck of a lot of work. Doesn't require a whole heck of a lot of your time. It's just about building the right system so that you can it could be really hands off. Yeah. Now that we got possession of the property, I wasn't even planning on going there.
Yeah.
Actually, we had someone go drop off a lockbox, and then our realtor put the key in the lockbox for us. So there was no champagne or like big open house or anything like that. And
no ribbon cutting.
Right? And then, so I already have I just need to get a list for the handyman. Handyman goes down there. He gets the key out of the lockbox. He gets the work done. Somebody goes down there, takes pictures. Like, we don't need to go there. Mm-hmm. We could do everything remotely. And then once the tenants are in, it's just a matter of doing the necessary scheduled inspections and things like that. And everything is all remote and everything's online by email. Doesn't that sound cool? Doesn't that, like, real estate investing does not need to be this huge. You don't have to create this whole scheme or this gimmick or thing. Like, oh, we got to deconvert this, or we got to add this, or we're going to be, tearing this whole building down and building this. And like, for what? I'm getting better returns on this silly little townhouse than most people are on all these crazy big deals. And it doesn't require any of my work. You know what that allows me to do? That allows me to take my daughter out for dinner yesterday. It allows me to go out and take her to training in the afternoon. It allows me to coach her game. It allows me to go out and have brunch. I had brunch with Rob yesterday. I was, if you saw my story, like, it allowed me to like do whatever the heck I want. You know what I mean? And I'm not like tied to or tethered to like all of these different responsibilities. And there's no risk.
Yes.
Investment, yeah, you want to make great returns. You want to make lots of money. But in most cases, when you're doing these big old schemes and gimmicks and things like that, it adds so many layers of risk. And what the fuck is the point? Why not just do it in a simpler way with far less risk that doesn't require any of your time or little time, so you can actually enjoy the life that you created? I'm almost 40. That said 40 a bunch of times here, and it's just like every time I say 40, I'm like, Wayne, you're 39 and a half. I'm almost 40. I worked really fucking hard. in my 20s and in my 30s to be able to create this life, the last thing I want to do is take on large projects that are going to interfere or impede on my lifestyle, right? And I hope that resonates with you guys. If you want to do big, crazy things, go for it. Just know that it's going to impede on your lifestyle, and it's going to make you either a shitty mom, a shitty dad, or a shitty investor.
Yeah.
Something's going to give. So anyways, that's just my little rant on that. Bought a property, I think I said, right?
I'm biting my tongue. I so badly want to take a hold of that rant and keep going. But we have a
Tomorrow?
topic to talk about.
Friday
Maybe.
rant?
Friday
rants?
rant.
Friday rants on. Okay, Gabby's going to be ranting
Hold on,
tomorrow.
I need to make a few notes.
Yeah. When did everybody buy their first property? Oh, you got to go through all the comments now.
Yeah. Just going to move my phone over here so I can see them.
All right. Let's see if I can help.
I got it. Okay, so
Chris.
So we talked about Chris's, who's 22, built some equity, and before he was 30, got his first few rentals under his belt. Amazing, good job, Chris. Kyla bought my first property at 25, had a suite in a house and house hacked, sold it 15 years later, and came to Alberta, and now they're on their real estate investing journey. I know that she added something later, so I'm going to just scroll down and see if I can find that comment. No, I lost it. Okay, I'm just going to keep going.
I always played the safe and it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Kirsten says, similar story here with Chris. I bought my first house at 20 and used the equity to get started buying rentals, and has done very well for herself. Family. Awesome. Here it was with Kyla. She said, now we've got we've gotten 2 primaries, did 3 flips, 2 rentals, and a rent to own since. So that was
awesome.
That first property was the catalyst to all that. Manny bought his first property last year. Kyla says, yeah, Manny, never too late.
Awesome. Good job, Manny.
Yeah. Craig bought my primary at 19 and did nothing else with the head start. LOL. Late to the party with my first rentals this year at 38.
Never too late.
Yeah.
At 38. Joey bought his first rental at 21. Charn
Awesome.
at 30.
Mitch, first one at 32, 3 years ago.
Nice.
Possession of number 26 in a few days.
There you go. I like that. I like all that. It's, you know what, maybe this doesn't seem all that important. Maybe this seems like, obviously everybody buys their first home in their 20s. Like, why are you even bringing this up? I mean, most people are going to do it anyways. I don't know if you guys have realized this, whether you're paying attention, not paying attention. It's getting harder and harder for kids, for people to buy their first home. Mathematically, it is getting harder and harder. And I had this whole presentation kind of built out. In that 11 minutes that I was planning this episode, I had this whole other section that I really wanted to do, but I just don't think it's possible. Maybe it's something we do with our students in REI Masters in the near future. But I really wanted to dissect or reverse engineer life. I'm trying to, and I didn't really have an opportunity to put all this into words, so I'm gonna try my best here, but bear with me. I did kind of touch on it very briefly when I said that, like, we think that we have our whole lives ahead of us, but mathematically, there's only X amount of years, right? And leading up until the age of 20, most of that's high school and building your life, and then you get your first job, and then it's like that clock starts where you start earning. The earning clock starts at like 20, and the earning clock ends at 65. And then it's almost like the first few years you're kind of building up, you're an entry level wage, or you're a level 1, or your first year, you know what I mean? Then you get your second, third, and you get your red seal, or you're a marketing associate, and then you work your way into supervisor, and then team lead, and then you get to a marketing director position by the time you're 29 or 30, and you peak. Right, and then now you're finally making your $130,000 a year. So there's you have your earning clock, but then there's like almost another clock, or like another threshold to which you actually start earning your forever income, which is like you peak at like, okay, I will only ever earn this much, plus maybe a 1.5% pay increase every year to keep up with inflation for the next 40 years, which doesn't even keep up with inflation. Right, so if you made it through a couple classes of math in high school, you could really start to see that we're building a formula here. That like, okay, so like at the age of 20, you make $20 an hour. By the time you're 29, now you're making $40 an hour, which equates to whatever, $80,000 a year or $90,000 a year, with a 1.5% increase in your wage every year until you are 65. So you got 35 years of a 1.5% increase. Everybody following? Maybe we'll get them to add some text down at the bottom, so you guys can follow. Now you can actually break down what your total job revenue, job income is going to be for the next, from the age of 30 to the age of 65. And so I'm not able to do that. I could ask, ChatGPT to figure that out for me, but I'm on a live show on video right now, so it's not going to work. Actually, maybe Gabby, you can do that real fast. ChatGPT, ask it if I make $80,000 a year with a 1.5% increase compounded every year until I'm for 35 years. How much will I make in my lifetime? You know what? I'll just ask her. You guys can listen. This would be fun. Hey, girl.
Hey, how's it going? What's on your mind today?
Oh, strap in.
You got it. I'm here and ready to help. What can I do for you today?
I just need you to do a little bit of math for me.
Of course. Hit me with the numbers you need crunched and I'll walk you through it.
Oh, God, I love your spirit.
I appreciate that, but I'm really just here to help out. Let's focus on what you need and we'll make sure it's done right.
Okay, assuming that I make, just hang on, I got to get my thoughts straight. Let's assume I make $250,000 between the age of 25 to 30, and then starting at age 30, I start making $80,000 a year. And then there is a 1.5% pay increase every year until I'm 65. How much will I make in my between the age of 25 and 65?
Let's break it down step by step. First, you've got a fixed $250,000 from age 25 to 30. Starting at 30, you earn $80,000, and each year after that, your salary increases by 1.5%. We'll calculate that compounded growth up to 65, sum all years, and add the initial period. I'll do the math and give you the total.
And? While she's thinking about that. I didn't really want this to go this far. I was really hoping I can get a fast answer. Got an answer for me yet?
I sure do. Over that entire period, you'd be looking at about $3.9 million total. That's the combined sum of your fixed early years plus all those incremental increases from 30 on.
All right, thank you. So in your lifetime, in your working lifetime, you're only ever going to make $3.9 million. You know, the interesting thing is, and again, I didn't want to spend so much time because I haven't even talked to, oh my God, I haven't even done my podcast topic yet. I'm at 45 minutes? Okay. Well, here's the point that I was trying to make. And this should scare the shit out of you. So listen up. Your ability to earn is less than for someone who actually builds a decent career.
I was going to say, those were some pretty good salaries that you were talking about.
That's a pretty good salary.
Yeah.
Your earning potential as an employee is less than $4 million.
in your lifetime.
Not to mention the fact that we talked about a 1.5% pay increase, but the truth is that inflation is significantly worse than that. So every year money is actually getting devalued. Each and every one of you guys are fucked unless you do something about it. You're absolutely fucked. How is anyone supposed to get ahead? How is the next generation supposed to get ahead when you are literally going backwards? Everybody thinks like they're walking forwards, but they're actually walking backwards. You're moonwalking right now. Looks cool. You look like you're dancing. But you're actually moving backwards. You're moonwalking. So you have to do something about this. You have to build another stream of income. You have to build equity. You need to build net worth somewhere else. The job you go to every day, that's just to keep the fucking lights on. And the truth is that we are actually moving in a backwards direction. Most people. Now, leading up to Gabby's whatever. Okay with talking about your age? You're 40?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
about to be 41.
About to be 41. I'm about to be 40. Okay. Our generation, it was reasonable to get a down payment put together and to buy a house, right? I think that my daughter's generation is going to be significantly worse, which is great for us because we own all the properties. But it's going to be harder for her because if she were to go the regular route, it's going to be very hard for her to save for a down payment because the cost of the houses are going up and up and up and up and up and up, and it's going to be less reachable, attainable. So her saving for a down payment is going to be one issue. Trying to save up, what, a $600,000 house? What's 5% of that?
30?
$30,000? How is she supposed to save up $30,000 when she's making the numbers that we're talking about here? Where is there room to save any money? Not to mention the fact that, as well, the cost of living continues to keep going up more and more and more and more and more. I'm just telling you right now that like if you're under 25 right now, it's going to be significantly hard for you. So what you should be focusing on, seriously, what you really need to focus on is you need to focus on doing whatever you can in your early years between the age of 18 and 25. You got 7-year window there. Do whatever the fuck you can to save as much money as possible. And I know most people are like, that's my coming of age. That's like, I want to go and travel. I want to go and I'm going to take a year off and study abroad. Like, I'm going to go to Bali.
Live, laugh, love.
The truth is that if you go that route, that selfish route, I'm telling you right now, you're going to regret it later. You have a window of opportunity between the age of 18 and 25 to save as much as you can to get the clock started on building equity. Because if you think that your job, that you're going to finally get that gig and I'm going to finally get that director position, that's going to save you, it's not. It's barely enough oxygen to breathe. Nothing is coming for you and there is no solution. It is just going to continuously get worse and worse and worse. The air in the room, the oxygen in the room is slowly leaking. And there won't be enough for you to breathe. And there won't be enough for your kids to breathe either. We have to do something. We cannot just hop into, I hate using the rat race analogy, but you can't just get into the rat race and just, just the next 45 years, I'm just going to do this thing and everything's going to be okay. Someone's going to take care of me. It will not work that way. We are going in a backwards direction. You have to do something extra. And this isn't just about creating financial freedom or anything else. But that's not even where I'm talking about that. We're talking about actually getting you to a position where you can actually comfortably retire and not have to go get another job at 65.
I think the difference between the kids who are going to be able to do that and the kids who don't really comes down to the parents. And
this is on you.
Yeah. And of course, there's people who defy their upbringings. Wayne, you're a great example of that. You took the initiative to do this and this was not in your cards, right?
Not in my cards.
So there's of course going to be those people who do that. But I think for the majority, it's going to come down to whether or not you have parents leading the charge saying this is important. If you want anything for your life, this is what you need to do. And I think also the parents' ability to help them with that is becoming more and more important. for you guys to be in a position to be able to help your kids at that young age obtain that first property. I think that's going to be a huge shift where we're seeing parents needing to help their kids compared to them being able to do it on their own in the first place.
In the next 20 to 30 years, the wealth gap in the middle class. I mean, obviously there's another wealth gap between, like, I'd say, like, the middle class and then the ultra wealthy.
Yeah.
But the wealth gap between the low income and the middle class is going to dramatically increase.
Mm-hmm.
And it will have 100% is going to be solely dependent on whether families owned real estate or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not just saying that, like, you really need to understand what I mean here, because there's a difference between people who you have to pay monthly living costs every month. Are you paying it towards your mortgage and paying down your mortgage and benefiting from the appreciation of the asset? Or are you paying it to somebody else who's benefiting from the paying down of the mortgage and the appreciation of the asset? Someone every month is receiving money and building equity.
Mm-hmm.
Is it you or is it your landlord? That's where the gap is going to be. And if your parents didn't buy a house and they're renting and they have nothing to pass down to you, then you're just going to be you were already down here before, and your next generation is going to be even lower. You would assume that they would kind of stay in that wealth class. No, because of the way that money is going and because of that gap is increasing, your next generation will actually be lower.
Yeah.
Every generation is going to be worse off unless the previous generation does something about it. That's what we're talking about right now. But if you had bought a property and you paid your monthly living expenses every month, what's actually happening is you're building equity, and the next generation is going to be further ahead because of the fact that every time you make a mortgage payment, you're paying down your mortgage, and that creates equity. And also because you own that asset, the asset is also going up in value, whatever percent every year. So you're building wealth. So if you pay rent, you're going in this direction. If you own the property, you're going in this direction. And I'm not even talking about rental properties right now. I'm just talking about owning your own home. As simple as that. This is the direction that things are going. So you have to do something. And again, you only have, I really want people to do this in that window between the age of 18 to 25, because if you start at 32, no offense, Mitch, you know this, your clock starts later. But my clock started in my early 20s, right? Chris's clock started at 22. Chris has a 10-year head start on you. Chris has been building, I'm just using these as examples because these are the numbers here. But Chris has been building 10 years worth of equity. So he has more time. And both of you guys will reach 65, and Chris will have more because he started sooner. And again, we only have that window of opportunity between those years where, you own it, the clock starts, and then to which the point where you actually need it at 65 or sooner. But I'm just using this as general example. That's what I mean. You have 40 years roughly to build wealth before you actually need it. So this is the simple formula to get you to a millionaire at 40. And I know it's like there's 7 minutes left in the show, but the truth is that everything I've talked about leading up to this was the most important part. Everything else after this is just a gimmick. This is just to feed the YouTube and to feed the title, right? It's valuable, what I'm about to share with you, but I really, really wanted to dive in deep on the actual underlying message, which is that everybody is fucked unless you do something about it. That's the moral of the story. So for those of you guys that have actually stuck it out to the very end, this is what I actually wanted you to hear. We're all fucked unless we do something. And I hope that inspires you to take action today. If you buy a property by the time you're 25, here's what's going to happen. You're probably going to lock into a 5-year fixed mortgage, right? You're going to put 5% down on that property. Here's what's going to happen. I'm speaking very, very, very generic math here this morning, okay? Just to make a simple example so you understand the point. If you buy that property at 25, within 5 years of you owning that property, when it comes up for renewal, you should have accumulated enough equity, in most cases, to buy another property. By the time you're 30, you've accumulated enough equity to buy another property. So what you're going to do is, you're going to go to the bank, You're gonna request a refinance at the new appraised value and whatever's left on the mortgage, right? You're gonna keep that property, and then you're gonna pull out the equity from that refinance. You're gonna take that money and you're gonna buy another property. Okay? That refinance, that cash out refinance, is gonna give you the down payment for your next property. Now, the most logical thing to do, just for simplicity, is for you to move into that property. So you move into the new house. The old house becomes a rental. Now, at age 30, you have your first rental property, and you own 2 properties total. Okay? You move into the new one. Here's what happens. Age 30 to 35, 5 years later, what happens? You're going to build equity in property number 1, and you're going to build equity in property number 2 now. So at age 35, what's going to happen is now you're going to go to the bank, and you're going to say, hey, I'd like to refinance these 2 properties. I built up equity. They get the new appraised value, they see how much is left on the mortgage, and then they're going to pay you out 2 down payments now. Down payment for the 3rd property and a down payment for the 4th property. So now at age 35, you own 4 properties. You went from owning 1 with the initial down payment at 25, now you own 4 with no additional funds out of your own pocket. You don't have to do any saving. This is all leveraging the equity in the properties that you have created by taking action. You don't need any additional down payment savings. You don't need any joint ventures. You can literally just use and leverage what you have already created by being smart and by making smart decisions. So at age 35, now you own 4 properties. You live in 1, you rent 3. Pretty simple, right? Most of you guys have probably already built a family by then. You're taking them to soccer every day. It's very manageable. Yeah. Here's what's happening between the age of 35 to the age of 40. Now, at age 40, you've had another 5 years to build up mortgage pay down and appreciation and equity. You go to the bank again, and you say, hey, bank, I'd like to refinance these 4 properties. They say, not a problem. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get 4 down payments. You're going to pull equity out of property 1, pull equity out of property 2, pull equity out of property 3, and pull equity out of property 4. And you're going to buy 4 more properties. Now at age 40, you own 8 properties. Each of them will have 20% equity in all of them because you just refinanced them, right? You refinanced all of these first ones up to 80% loan to value. So you have 20% equity in each of those. And then you also have 20% equity in the new 4 new ones because you just put 20% down payments on them. So you have 20% equity in all 8 properties. That right there, in most cases, will be $1 million worth of net worth. You'll be a millionaire by 40. If you weren't already a millionaire at any given point in that whole process, depending on the values of the properties and how much equity was built in there, some years are really good years, some years are slower years, right? But that should get you to becoming a millionaire by the time you're 40, and you own 8 properties. You live in one of them, you rent out 7. Here's the thing. Guys, you could just stop right there. You're done. I'm telling you, mathematically right there, if you just left those as is, you're 40 years old, and you just let it do its thing for the next 25 years without a whole lot of restructuring, you will have millions of dollars waiting there for you for your retirement and to pass on to your kids.
Help them buy their first home.
Now you've got financial options. You did something. You didn't actually do all that much if you think about it. You were just very smart about it because you bought at the right time. You made smart decisions of restructuring your equity and leveraging it into additional assets rather than just paying off your mortgage. By the way, if you bought at 25 and you paid down your mortgage until you're 40, I'd love to see the difference. And one day maybe I'll show you those numbers. The difference between how much equity you would have then compared to how much equity you would have by doing this maneuver.
By leveraging.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a fraction of the equity you have by buying assets throughout the whole time and leveraging the equity. Because that equity, it would have just sat in that first home. It would have been great. It would have been better than most people who don't own properties or a property.
Yep.
But I'm just showing you how you can leverage that equity that's literally sitting there dead in your house, that is doing absolutely nothing, leveraging it to make more equity. That right there is how you build up $1 million worth of net worth in just 15 years. Not to mention the fact that those properties are going to be cash flowing. Now, you don't want to spend that cash flow. Let's just be real. The cash flow should be going, it should be sitting there to support those properties. But what's going to happen is if you stopped at 40, and let's just assume that, the properties were all, you don't need to sell them and they don't need any crazy structural maintenance or whatever. Let's keep it simple. By the time you're 65, those 7 properties, those mortgage payments are all going to be staying the same. Okay? What's going to happen is between age 40 and age 65, you're going to pay down 25 of those 30 years of mortgage. Those mortgage payments will stay almost consistent all the way through those 25 years. Because they keep more, unless of course interest rates fluctuate or whatever else, but your mortgage payment will stay pretty much the same. What's going to happen is your biggest expense, your mortgage payment is going to stay the same throughout those 25 years, but what's going to happen to the rent over that 25 years?
Go up.
It's going to go up a few percent every year. And what does that gap, that difference between your expenses and your revenue, or your expenses and your rent, what's that called? What's that margin called? It's called cash flow. So yeah, your cash flow might be like this at age 40, but what you're going to realize is over time, 45, 50, age 55, age 60, age 65, holy shit, I've actually got a huge chunk of cash flow now, which was created over time. Not to mention the fact that I've also got a huge chunk of equity as well that was built. You may have been at $1 million worth of equity at 40, but you're going to be worth millions by the time you're 65. So you're building equity. You're also building, your cash flow is building up as well. So by the time you're 65, you can look at it, and again, with some minor restructuring, and I can teach you guys all that stuff. If you just left it as is, you have more than enough cash flow to be able to survive your monthly payments into retirement. You don't need to go get a second job at Walmart or get a job, greeting at Walmart. You don't need to go rely on your children to support you and move into their basement or their garden suite. You don't need that. You're self-sufficient. Also, you built up all of that equity that you get to keep as well. And where does that equity go when you die? It goes to your kids. So now your kids get to share in that $3, $4, $5, $6 million that you've accumulated worth of net worth. And each of your kids is going to get $1 million or $2 million. And what they're going to do is they're going to take that $1 million or $2 million, and that's going to be the first down payment for their house when they turn 18 or 19 years old. And they can repeat the whole process. They can start before the age of 25. They can start building up all that equity. They can start the clock sooner than you were able to start the clock because they were given an opportunity. But they're not starting with like $15,000 or $30,000 worth of equity. They're starting with $1 million. So not only are they buying their first house, which is going to be a significantly nicer house than your first house, they're starting with a bigger house. They're also starting off with maybe 5 or 6 rental properties each, instead of you starting with 1. So they not only get to start sooner, they get to start with more. And that success that you pass down to them, that equity that you pass down to them, will compound. It will continue to keep compounding and compounding and compounding. And it's hard to say what the value of a dollar is going to be in 50, 60 years. I can't say that for certain. But what I'm saying is that compounded growth means that the second generation, not your kids' generation, but their kids' generation, will have significantly more because of that compounded growth. That creates what's called generational wealth. And it starts with you. And every year and every month and every day you keep delaying this because you're ashamed and you're like, oh gosh, maybe I should work an extra weekend shift. Every day you delay this, for whatever reason, is delaying that generational wealth growth. It's not just you, it's them. And what you don't realize is that your future generations are fucked even more than you are. So if you think it's hard right now, just realize it's going to be even harder for them. You not taking action today, you not making the right decisions, is having a generational impact on your kids, your grandkids, and your great-grandkids. It's up to you. You have an opportunity here to change that. Otherwise, your future generations, your kids, your grandkids, are going to be in a lower wealth class than you are. And I don't think any of us feel okay with that. I certainly don't. This isn't about me making big bucks and me, providing this luxurious silver spoon lifestyle for my daughter and her kids. This is about combating something that is actually happening. This is about taking an offensive, defensive approach. Because by doing nothing, it actually makes it worse. Doing nothing used to just kind of keep you where you are in the wealth classes. Doing nothing actually drops you lower into the wealth classes. Now, you have to do something. Fuck everyone that your seminars and your weekend conferences that tell you about financial freedom and all these other things. They're all just trying to get you to buy into programs to create this fucking fancy beach style lifestyle. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you do not do this, you need to be looking at what you should act like. You're focusing on the wrong things. What you need to focus on is like, how do I protect my family and my legacy, my name, my Hillier legacy, right? This is an offensive, defensive approach. Now, I will say this, though. There are benefits to all of this. It will create a better lifestyle for you. It will create freedom. When you're in your 50s, you will have more cash flow that you can spend early. As that cash flow grows, you can spend that freedom that you've created. It doesn't all have to go into a bank account sitting there waiting for kids later, right? You can spend some of it. And depending on how much you dial it up, we just talked about a very, 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 very simple way of leveraging equity today. Like the bare minimum. Every fucking family in Canada can do this. This does not require a college degree or a university degree. Every family can do this. We're talking about the very, very baseline of what you can do. You dial that up just even a little bit and start adding in additional creative strategies into real estate, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. So there is an opportunity to create a better lifestyle. But what I need each and every one of you guys to do is pull your heads out of your asses and at least get started. You have to start the clock in building equity, because if you don't, you're setting yourself further behind. You're way further back in the pole position. You can still win the race. You can still make it. You can finish the race. But wouldn't you rather start in a better position? That's it. That's today's show, guys. I hope you liked it. Hope it opened up your mind. And I hope this is what you needed in order to get started. I hope this is what you needed in order to take the action today. Please. We are here for you. Any of the missing gaps in between, anything you don't understand, what types of properties, how much cash flow, how do I choose a market, how do I choose a property, how do I choose a tenant, how do I get financing, how do I do the taxes, how do I deal with a tenant who doesn't pay rent, all that other shit in between, that's what this here is for. That's what this show is here for. It is a resource for you to get the answers to your questions so that we can help you along the journey. It is free here every morning at 7 a.m. on YouTube. Come join the Canadian Real Estate Investing Morning Show. You can find it on YouTube under Wayne Hillier. Additionally, if you want a more closer handholding, we have a paid coaching program as well. You do not need it, but if you want it, it is there. That program is what takes you to the next level. That program is what helps you buy not just any property, but the best properties. Not just any returns, but the best returns. And not just a little bit of risk, but next to no risk. Provides you all the contracts, provides you all the courses, everything that you need to know, plus the one-on-one answers any time of day from us to be able to make sure that you don't make any mistakes along the way. And you're going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But to have that certainty to know that you're not going to make any mistakes because you have us at any given moment, any given day, to be able to help you look through the properties, to help you analyze the numbers, to help you analyze the markets, to help you go through the purchase contracts when you're buying an off-market deal, to help you make sure that you get the right financing for your deals, to go through like anything you need, that is there as well, but it's paid. Okay, that comes at a cost. That's my time. That's Gabby's time. It comes at a cost. But you have zero excuses. Even if you can't afford it, you don't see the value in it, you have this. You have a resource right here. So stop going to the fucking seminar, stop going to the conferences, stop watching another free webinar. Go out and start today, please. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, is there a fist bump? Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening. Want to be coached personally by Wayne and Gabby? Then you should join the Real Estate Investing Masters Mentorship Program. Details are in the show notes to get started.